From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Monday morning. Right now you're taking a live look at Yakima. This view coming courtesy of Weimar. All the city lights down below. We're not seeing any obstructions in visibility this morning for lower elevations. We are seeing some up in the Blue Mountains and also up in the Cascades, but this map might not look like this for forever. I'll tell you more about that coming up a little bit later in the show. But just know we will have the potential all throughout this week for low elevation fog and stratus clouds. Right now, temperatures are very cold as we're technically 3 degrees above freezing in Walla Walla, but the rest of the viewing area is below freezing. So a lot of us are going to have to break out the ice scraper for this morning. I certainly did in Kennewick. So here's the bottom line for the forecast. We could see some low elevation gloom returning for this week, as this week is going to be pretty cold. It's going to be pretty dry, although there will be small chances for mountain snow Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Then we turn even colder into this weekend, maybe the coldest air mass that we've tracked since the beginning of December. So I'll tell you just how cold that could be coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, all types of crime have been plaguing the city of Sunnyside, and the people are fed up and taking things into their own hands with exactly what they're doing. And Pasco residents that get through their irrigation through the city could be hit with increased fees. How much it could increase and when is coming up. Also ahead, an update on the wildfires in California, as more than 100,000 people are still under mandatory evacuation orders. We have the latest right here on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal. It is Monday, January 13th. We're going to start your top stories off with new information this morning. Kennewick fire crews responded to a house fire late last night. This happened in the 800 block of South Oklahoma Street. The call for help came in just after 11 p.m. and crews got to the scene within a few minutes and began investigating the home. Firefighters used a ladder to inspect the roof of the home. Everyone was able to get out of the home safely, and luckily no one was hurt. Kennewick police also responded to the scene. In crime news, the Umatilla County Sheriff's Office arrests 3 people after a drive-by shooting over the weekend. It happened Saturday around 2 a.m. Authorities say witnesses reported hearing gunshots at a home near Bridge Road and Westland Road. Deputies say they found evidence at the scene, and they were later called back to the same home around 3:30 a.m. for more gunshot reports. Witnesses this time were able to give a description of the suspected gunman's car, and authorities found a car matching that description on Powerline Road. Alexis Aguiar and Javari Torres, both 18 and from Umatilla, also 19-year-old Abraham Dennis Chavez of Irrigan, are facing charges in the drive-by shooting, and authorities say it appears the shooting was targeted. Now, in more crime news, vandalism, theft, and even violent crimes like assault and shootings, that's what's happening in Sunnyside. And now business owners and members of the community are taking matters into their own hands. Our Monique Ledesma reports that people are fed up with what's happening in their city, and they're ready to do something about it.
It's very disheartening, and it's scary.
David Swales is born and raised in Sunnyside, but he says it's not the same town he grew up in.
I have 3 grandkids that live a few blocks away from here, and then within the last 6 months, there's been 3 murders. So I fear for their lives and their safety. Sunnyside used to be a safe place, but it's not anymore.
Swales is also a business owner. Other than his usual customers or greeting a new customer, he's facing theft, vandalism, and credit card fraud. It cost him thousands of dollars, and now it's costing him time with his family he is working to protect.
As you can see, I have a cot in my office. I live here a lot of the times, sleeping here, trying to wait for something to happen to try to catch these people.
Swales says he believes the city and police officers are doing their best, but the citizens are at their breaking point. That's why he and other community members are stepping in to take back the Sunnyside they all knew with what they call iWatch.
Break the city up into groups, have group leaders for every section that we get put together, and just be extra eyes and ears for the police department. So not law enforcement, but just see something, say something.
Swales says iWatch group leaders are starting to notice a pattern.
Kids walking around town at night wearing hoodies and masks. And I've seen them frequenting the local motels, walking all the way across town, and from 1 to 3 o'clock in the morning. And a lot of the crime is happening.
However, some people who live in Sunnyside look at iWatch with skepticism. They say the group may be too quick to jump to a conclusion and are concerned about racism.
That's not what we're about. We're just about the community coming together, working together, no matter what race somebody is. We don't care. We just want to be good neighbors and help each other out and put a stop to the crime.
Swales says iWatch is not affiliated with the city or law enforcement, but the group has found support there. Reporting in Sunnyside, Monique Ledesma, Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, Monique. Now, if you're looking to get involved, their next group meeting is the Sunnyside Police Department at 6 p.m. on Wednesday, January 22nd. Now, bail has been set for 2 teens accused of a deadly shooting that happened on January 7th in Sunnyside. 18-year-old Andre Carrion of Mabton is facing charges of first-degree murder in the killing of 18-year-old Isabel Rodriguez. 18-year-old Angel Placencia Gutierrez of Sunnyside is facing charges of possession of a stolen firearm and unlawful possession in the same case. Authorities say Isabel Rodriguez died after being shot in the 1600 block of North Avenue. Bail for Carrion is set for $500,000. Bail for Placencia Gutierrez is set for $5,000. Now, if you get irrigation water through the city of Pasco or you plan to, heads up, there may be changes coming this year. The city of Pasco is proposing increased irrigation rates and a connection fee for new customers. The city says this increase is needed to improve the irrigation system's reliability and also prepare for future growth. The deputy city manager says irrigation is utility, which means ratepayers have to sustain it.
So the ratepayers' connection fees, the monthly rates, they need to be enough to maintain that system. So we do not use this money for any other purposes but for irrigation only.
The city is opening their ears for an upcoming listening session today, and they say they've received a lot of feedback so far, but they're hoping for as much as they can get. Again, it's tonight at 6 p.m. in the council chambers at Pasco City Hall, and the adopted rate and connection fee would potentially be active by the end of March. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, the California wildfires could be worsening. This due to a new warning about heavy winds. We have the details in just a few minutes, but first our Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your weather forecast. Keep it here. We will be right back.
No matter how he got here, how alone she feels, how they've struggled to support their best friend. What's important is this moment, when they reached out and said, "I can't do this alone." And we said, "That's okay, we'll figure it out together." If you or a loved one needs support, our trained counselors can help you too. 988, anywhere, anytime.
Got the perfect setup for moving into the corner.
Apple Valley News Now, the #1 most watched morning TV station in town.
Now that's good.
How do I look?
We're doing it.
We're Apple Valley News Now, on your side.
I'm a real wild one. Once in a while, we all want to go wild. We just need a little help. Meet a little help. The 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition goes over any terrain, so you can go all out. Get a wild deal on a Bronco Sport today. Lease a 24 Bronco Sport 4x4 Wild Edition for just $299 a month for 36 months, only at your local Ford dealer.
New year, new glow. Start 2025 with radiant, tighter skin. This January, enjoy 25% off on our most loved treatments, Photo Fabulous and Smooth Glow. Photo Fabulous revitalizes your skin with the ultimate IPL and skin resurfacing combo for a smoother, brighter complexion. Smooth Glow not only rejuvenates your skin and reduces fine lines, but it also tightens and lifts for a youthful, glowing look. Hurry! This exclusive offer is only valid through January 31st. Book your session now and make 2025 the year of glowing, confident skin.
Vikings, Rams, Wild Card. Pre-game 4:30 tonight. Apple Valley News Now. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Right now you're taking a look at the temperatures in Kittitas County as we're all below freezing. So probably all of us this morning are going to have to break out the ice scraper. I certainly had to in Kennewick for this morning. I think it's probably going to be a similar situation in the Yakima Valley as temperatures here spanning from the low to mid 20s, 22 in Toppenish, 24 for Union Gap, 24 degrees in Grandview. Just talked about what I had to do this morning in the Tri-Cities, but I have a feeling the rest of the lower Columbia Basin probably going to have to do the same thing as we're well below freezing, 26, 24 for Mesa and Connell respectively. Then in the Blue Foothills, a little bit closer to that freezing threshold. In fact, in Walla Walla, technically at the airport 3 degrees above freezing, but for the rest of us below freezing. So I think the ice scraper would probably have to be in your repertoire for this morning as well. Okay. On to the day planner for lower elevations all throughout the day. Temperature is going to be stuck in the 30s and 40s. And model consensus for now going with mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. But just know when we're in a pattern like this, when the winds are light, when it's dry, when it's cold, that sometimes means that the cold air from the mountains can drain down into the valleys, foothills, and basin. That could result in a layer of stratus clouds that could make us more gloomy as opposed to what model consensus is saying. So this is going to be a very tricky forecast for today. So just know temperatures today, 30s and 40s. There could be sunshine, there could be clouds. So I hate to be that vague with it, but sometimes that's just the way the forecast pans out. I'll tell you if we have any sort of switch up to our forecast coming over the next 7 days, that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. We have an urgent new warning about heavy winds that could make conditions even worse in California. As the death toll rises to 24, more than 100,000 people are still under mandatory evacuation orders. The governor is deploying another 1,000 National Guard members to the fire zone, and one of the biggest fires, the Eaton Fire, was 27% contained as of last night, and the Palisades Fire 13% contained. But the concern now is the next 24 to 48 hours. ABC's Doreen Shaw has the latest.
This morning, firefighters in Southern California bracing for conditions to worsen. Forecasters have issued a rare warning, a PDS, or particularly dangerous situation, saying powerful winds this week could threaten new communities in the disaster zone.
The vegetation is still very, very dry, so that leaves a recipe to produce some very critical fire weather conditions.
Wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour are expected today. Since last week, fierce winds have turned wildfires into infernos, leveling entire neighborhoods. The fires have burned more than 12,000 homes and other buildings, making them likely the most destructive fires in U.S. history. In the Pasadena area, more than 39,000 structures are still under threat from the Eaton Fire.
It was a nightmare.
Jeffrey and Cheryl Koo first spotted the Eaton Fire at 6:19 p.m. last Tuesday on a hill near their home.
I need you to come out here right now.
Their Ring camera shows the couple loading their car to evacuate just 10 minutes later.
No!
The sky turning bright orange as flames expanded around the hill.
The point where I felt like this was going to be the last time I would see the house was when the sky was orange.
The couple is seen evacuating at 6:53. They called it 34 minutes of terror.
Every moment I went into the house and out of the house, it was surreal. Every time I checked on the fire, it got worse.
That couple's home mostly spared. It's unclear how the Pacific Palisades or the Eaton Fire started. The ATF is leading the investigation. This SFEMA announced that active duty military will soon be deployed to join the firefighting efforts.
Up next on Good Morning Northwest, a collaboration with two parties from different cities is working to improve fish passage along Mill Creek. What this means now is that the collab is official, and we have more details on that and your full weather forecast. That's coming up right after the break.
...2024 was one for the books at Pingree Ford here in Selah. From helping you find your dream ride to supporting our amazing community, it's been a year we'll always remember. As we step into 2025, we're excited to bring you the latest and greatest in Ford's lineup. Find your perfect vehicle at the right price and take on whatever adventure you've got planned for 2025 and beyond. Come celebrate the new year with us at Pingree Ford, where small-town business meets big-time selection. Visit us in Selah or check out our inventory online today.
Hey Raptors, we want to rent these two chairs for the winter. We're kind of out on being cold this year.
Glad you dig it here, but this really isn't a vacation rental sort of place.
We hear ya, but what if we put on Raptor suits and then suddenly there are four of us? Yeah, we'll be your nieces, Layla and Kinley. I'm Kinley, the Raptor, and I love burgers.
I love it!
Triple Play has fun attractions for everyone, including bowling, a ropes course, and many more, all attached to a cozy hotel.
Not so sure we're gonna pull this off.
At McCurley Chevrolet, the 2024 Silverado 1500 is built to dominate every job, every road, and every adventure. With legendary strength, advanced technology, and rugged capability, the Silverado does it all. Whether you're towing, hauling, or heading off the beaten path. Right now, get huge discounts on the 2024 Silverado 1500. Power, performance, and savings like you've never seen before. Don't wait. Visit McCurley Chevrolet today and take home the truck that works as hard as you do. McCurley Dealerships, your way home.
Swing into Fred's Appliance for our New Year, New Kitchen Super Sale and discover unbeatable deals on the largest selection of in-stock, get-it-today inventory in our region. Introducing the new Electrolux 700 Series Alpine Green Washer and Dryer. This washer has an industry-exclusive 2 ways to sanitize, making it the most efficient washer on the market.
At Fred's, it's appliances, only appliances.
At Fred's, we sell appliances, only appliances.
Vikings, Rams, wild card. Pregame 4:30 tonight. Apple Valley News Now.
The Harlem Globetrotters are coming to the Toyota Center, and Apple Valley News Now is giving away 4 tickets, plus the chance to be the ball kid during warm-ups. Enter your child on the contest page at applevalleyNewsNow.com. Winners must be ages 6 to 12. Globetrotters, February 1st.
Hello there. Watch live with Kelly and Mark.
Weekday mornings at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Right now you're taking a live look at Richland. This view coming courtesy of the Legends Casino and Hotel. So far not seeing any obstructions to visibility for lower elevations. That could change a little bit later this morning and a little bit later this week. Just seeing some fog up in the Blues, also up in the Cascades, but in between there, we're good for now. I'll have a lot more to say about that coming up here in a second, but first, temperatures technically 3 degrees above freezing in Walla Walla. For the rest of the viewing area, we're below freezing, down into the 20s. So pretty much all of us, minus Walla Walla, going to have to break out the ice scraper for this morning. A little bit later today, seasonal highs with 30s and 40s. Now, model consensus is going with mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies for today. But just know that since it's going to be cold and dry and the winds will be light, when that happens, sometimes the cold air can drain down into the valleys, basin, and foothills. That can lead to a layer of stratus clouds. Sometimes that could lead to some patchy fog. So even though model consensus is saying one thing, conventional wisdom is saying another thing. So this is going to be a very interesting forecast for today. And then for tonight, overnight lows dropping down into the 20s across the map. So pretty much all of us are going to have to protect the outdoor pets, the plants, and the plumbing. Once again, we could maybe see some patchy freezing fog for lower elevations, but it really just depends on where that cloud or fog layer sets up for tonight. Also, there's going to be a little tiny chance of some freezing rain overnight up in the Cascades, really from 1 in the morning to 10 in the morning on Tuesday. We'll have some similar small chances this time for snow up in the mountains on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Overall, this is going to be a very dry forecast over the next 7 days. Also, high temperatures not fluctuating all that much, except by the time we get to Sunday, especially Sunday morning. Overnight lows could be down into the low 20s in the Basin, upper teens possible in the Yakima and Kittitas valleys. Here's a 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Still cold and dry for Wednesday and beyond, but turning even colder this weekend. In Yakima, also dry and cold for the rest of the forecast period, and lows maybe slipping down into the teens, like I said, by Sunday morning. In Ellensburg, watching that cold air mass take over this weekend, especially as we'll struggle to make it above freezing by Sunday. In Hermiston, still cold and dry past Wednesday, but lows may be dropping into the low 20s by this weekend. And then in Walla Walla, a sprinkle or flurry possible for Friday, then dry again this weekend, as we could have a hard time making it above freezing on Sunday.
Thank you, Josh. And the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Walla Walla District and the Confederated Tribes of the Umatilla Indian Reservation are coming together for a project to improve fish passage along Mill Creek. And the signing ceremony happened Friday, and the collaboration is part of a federal pilot program under the Water Resources Development Act of 2020. The goal is to get fish moving through Mill Creek.
It's a flood control channel. When it was constructed in the 30s, people didn't consider fish passage at all. And so the Confederated Tribes of the Umatilla Indian Reservation have been an integral part in all of these efforts, whether they were partnering with a nonprofit that has been modifying the channel or with the Corps of Engineers.
This project begins with a study in Mill Creek, this to look at potential modification of the weirs in the creek, and there are around 80 weirs that the Corps will be looking at. To find more information on this story, visit our website, that's applevalleynewsnow.com. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, many celebrities have announced donations to help aid victims of the LA wildfires. And coming up, we have which celebrities have recently joined the mix, plus more in your entertainment news.
Hit by a big truck in bad weather? There's a law that says truck drivers have a legal duty to use extreme caution when driving in hazardous conditions. Hit by a big truck? I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
These are real people seeking solutions to real pain.
I have plantar fasciitis.
My feet, my knees, hips, and back.
And then they were fit with Good Feet arch supports. Clinically proven. Significant pain relief in only 4 weeks.
I'm not feeling any pain. My heel, that's where I always feel it.
Pressure off your knees?
Yeah, actually. I didn't notice any pain in my back. I feel like I could walk all day in these.
Take back the life you love and book your personalized arch support fitting today.
2025 is your year to start a new business, and the City of Pasco is here to help. We have newly updated commercial kitchen space and vendor windows available at the Pasco Specialty Kitchen downtown. Mobile food vendors, we've made it faster and easier than ever to get permits and connect with customers, thanks to new citywide regulations for food trucks and hand carts. Visit pasco-wa.gov for more information and join the thriving Pasco community. Naturally transformative.
U.S. Cellular has the incredible new iPhone 16 Pro.
The first iPhone built for Apple Intelligence.
Spread the word.
Apple Intelligence is personal, private, and oh so powerful, you dig?
And the all-new camera control will blow you away!
U.S. Cellular has the amazing new iPhone. Also, Doug ate all the office cake.
Show me the tape.
See the tape tonight at 10!
Right now at U.S. Cellular, get the new iPhone 16 Pro on us. No trade-in needed. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
Hit by a big truck in bad weather? There's a law that says truck drivers have a legal duty to use extreme caution when driving in hazardous conditions. Hit by a big truck? I'm attorney Mariana Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
The 3-Degree Guarantee, sponsored by Legends Casino Hotel.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In entertainment news this morning, we're looking at the weekend's box office numbers.
Plus, the latest celebrities donating money donating their money to help with the wildfires disaster in Southern California. So here's the latest on what's happening in Hollywood.
It's not about the money, it's about the challenge.
With a slow movie box office weekend, it didn't take much money to make it to #1. Den of Thieves 2, Pantera debuting on top, earning $15.5 million in the U.S.
I have a secret, Mufasa. I always wanted a brother.
Mufasa, The Lion King, adding $13.2 million in its fourth weekend, pushing its worldwide total past $539 million.
You're a colorful bunch.
Sonic the Hedgehog 3 followed with $11 million. Bethany Frankel has been helping provide emergency assistance to people in crisis for years with her Be Strong initiative. The entrepreneur, author, and reality star is now helping in the LA fires disaster. Be Strong has deployed resources to support all those affected, as well as first responders, providing them with critical supplies from warehouses. A big part is providing cash cards. Halle Berry and Sharon Stone on Instagram are supporting Jenna Cooper, a local real estate agent who has turned her Los Angeles home goods boutique and office into a fire relief pop-up. It's a place to donate and for those hurt by the fires to shop. A post on Berry's Instagram page reads, "I'm packing up my entire closet and heading over to Coop." Sharon Stone's Instagram page gives instructions on how to donate to the Coop. Chuck Severson, ABC News.
Up next on Good Morning Northwest at 6:30, we have an update on the petition to recall the Yakima County coroner. Emily Goodell has what a Yakima County Superior Court judge has ruled.
That's in the next half hour, plus the latest results on the 3-Degree Guarantee. I'll tell you just how big the jackpot is. That's going to be coming up at 6:30.
It's not what you park in your driveway that makes it home. At McCurley, we understand that. And that's why we go beyond the transaction to provide a complete ownership experience. Because it's the people, the experiences, and the memories awaiting you that make it home. And your vehicle is how you get there. Drive home in a new Mercedes-Benz GLC 300 for only $519 a month.
Here comes the 31st Annual Tri-City Sportsman Show, January 24th, 25th, and 26th at the Hapo Center in Pasco. Come see Masai, the famous African lion. Check out the hourly hunting and fishing seminars. Kids can fish at Lunker Lake. See the trophies of the Northwest Big Game Display. 2 buildings full of exhibitors, boats, RVs, pickups, ATVs, and more. It's the Tri-City Sportsman Show, January 24th through 26th in Pasco. Don't miss it.
At Spectrum, we believe every day unlocks unlimited possibilities to bring you closer to the people and places you love. Spectrum transforms your gaming experience into a galaxy of adventures. And with the fastest, most reliable internet, you're always front row to the entertainment you love, no matter where you are. Get Spectrum Internet Premier for $30 per month when bundled plus a 3-year price guarantee. Call 1-833-440-0029. Spectrum Internet puts streaming live TV, sports, and popular apps all at your fingertips.
A new year and a new adventure with the perfect Chevy to take you anywhere. With pure power unleashed and future-forward technology. Because every mile matters and every path leads to new possibilities. Get $5,250 total cash allowance on this Silverado. Plus, current Chevy owners and lessees get an additional $1,000 cash allowance when you purchase. See your community Chevy dealers.
After a long day, there's nothing like coming home to what matters most.
I think your mom was home.
With 3 generations under one roof, our home is a place where traditions are passed down. It's the simple moments that hold us together, reminding us that the best parts of life are shared, where every moment becomes a memory. With the help of Hapo Mortgage, we're home.
Kittitas Valley Healthcare is your trusted home for health, offering expert orthopedic care for your family. With over 55 years of combined experience, our team uses state-of-the-art equipment to improve surgical outcomes and provide compassionate, patient-centered care. We're committed to making your experience comfortable and efficient so you can stay active and healthy. Learn more and schedule a consultation through our website at kvhealthcare.org. Your home for health.
Vikings, Rams, Wildcard. Pre-game 4:30 tonight. Apple Valley News Now. This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
All right, Josh, that jackpot keeps on increasing because you keep getting that 3-degree guarantee correct. So how's it looking now?
Yes, it's getting up there, if I do say so myself. So let's go ahead and show you what it looked like on Friday, or at least what my forecast looked like on Friday. I went with a forecast high of 45 degrees in Pasco, verified at 46 degrees. That means excuse me. That means that the jackpot went up to $375. Now, here are the stakes for today. I'm going with a forecast high 42 in Pasco. So if the actual high falls between 39 to 45 degrees, that means that the jackpot's going to go all the way up to $400. But if my forecast goes bust, that means that the jackpot and all $375 that come with it could be yours. So to find out how to win the jackpot, go to applevalleynewsnow.com, click on the contest page, or you can scan the QR code that is currently on your screen. All right, now you're taking a live look at Richland. This view coming courtesy of the Legends Casino and Hotel. Not seeing any obstructions to visibility or low elevation fog for this morning, but that could change a little bit later this morning, and in particular that could change a little bit later this week. But for now, we are seeing some fog up at higher elevations. Right now, temperatures are pretty cold across the map. We are technically above freezing for Walla Walla, but 20s for the rest of these temperature plots on this graphic, at least within the confines of our viewing areas. Pretty much all of us are going to have to break out the ice scraper for this morning, except for Walla Walla. Outside of there is where you would maybe have a bit of a frosty or frozen start. But all of us are going to need the heavy jacket for this morning. In fact, in the Tri-Cities, I would personally go with the heavy jacket all throughout the day. So for today, highs up in the 30s and 40s. It's going to be cold. Model consensus going with mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. But based on some of the things I've talked about previously in this show, we know that maybe we could see some stratus clouds starting to fill in some of the sunshine a bit later today. But I'll take you on that zone-by-zone tour of today's very interesting forecast that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Now, Yakima County Superior Court judge has ruled the petition to recall Yakima County Coroner Jim Curtis can move forward. But Apple Valley News Now's Emily Goodell tells us that doesn't mean it's going straight to a ballot.
Even if there's no appeal, petitioners have a long road ahead of them, but the first roadblock is out of the way. Among other charges, petitioners have accused Curtis of using illegal drugs obtained from deceased persons while on duty, making false statements to public servants, and taking a long absence from his duties. But the judge's decision Friday, not whether that happened, but whether the petition itself is up to legal standards.
I'm not a fact finder, and I'm not making credibility determinations. I'm testing the sufficiency of the legal and factual basis.
Curtis not appearing in court, but his lawyer objecting, saying petitioners don't meet the threshold of having personal knowledge of the conduct in the petition.
The law does not require petitioners to be physically present when an act happens. If that were the case, then there would be recall would have no teeth, because you would never be able to do that.
The judge saying media reports, police reports, and at least one conversation with the coroner's staff qualifies as personal knowledge.
Having reviewed the file and heard the argument and watched the witnesses today, I'm going to find that the petition is both legally and factually sufficient.
The next steps, if there's no appeal, a 16-day waiting period. Then petitioners have up to 6 months to gather 13,500 signatures supporting the recall. Once the auditor's office certifies them, the election happens 45 to 90 days later. If the recall is successful, the Yakima County Republican Party will put forward 3 candidates, and the county commissioner's top pick will serve as coroner until the next election in 2026. Yakima County Republican Party Chairman Matt Brown issuing a statement saying, quote, "The approval of the recall petition against Jim Curtis is a victory for accountability and a testament to the Republican Party's commitment to standing with the people. This effort highlights our dedication to ensuring leaders uphold transparency, integrity, and the trust of their constituents." Curtis still has a couple of weeks to file an appeal, which would send the case up to the Washington Supreme Court. Reporting from the Yakima Newsroom, Emily Goodell, Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, Emily. In a health alert now, the Yakima Health District has reported the first flu-related death of the season in Yakima County. Officials say the person was between the ages of 30 and 49 and had underlying health conditions. Flu activity in Washington state is currently classified as very high. While last year's flu season began early, this year flu activity started increasing in mid-December and continues to climb weekly. Also, the Walla Walla County Department of Community Health confirms there is a new case of whooping cough in the community. Whooping cough is easily spread from person to person. Many times the illness can be treated with antibiotics, but it can be deadly, especially for babies younger than 6 months old or pregnant women who are in their last trimester. The Kennewick couple's dream is now a reality as they celebrate the opening of the Tri-City's first Stretch Lab. The Stretch Lab is a place to help stretch clients out. It's to improve their mobility as well as help them get moving. Co-owner Kelly Cowell says when it comes to the Stretch Lab, it's all about helping people feel good and get back to feeling good in their own skin.
I'm going to start crying. It's everything. We were looking for something to do in a business here in the Tri-Cities, and we wanted to give back, and this feels like we are giving back. We're helping people. Everybody here is to support us and loves it, and that's everything.
The Stretch Lab is on Edison Street across from Kamiakin High School in Kennewick. And for more information on the Stretch Lab, just visit our website, applevalleynewsnow.com. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, newly proposed legislation in Washington would increase penalties for anyone who threatens or attacks referees. We hear from the person spearheading the effort, and that's in just a few minutes.
Operation Best Friend, sponsored by As You Wish Real Estate Services, Christine Connolly, Realtor.
When uncertainty falls upon your freedom, you need an unwavering champion. We're dedicated to not just tipping the scales in your favor, but also delivering an unwavering and relentless defense. With over 5 decades of experience, we'll fiercely defend your freedom and secure the most favorable outcome. Your best defense, Quantum Legal.
This winter, escape to the mountains of Leavenworth with Beaver Valley Lodge, where fresh snow blankets the world and adventure is just outside your door. From skiing Plain Valley ski trails to peaceful snowshoe trails, the choices are endless. After a day in the snow, return to Beaver Valley Lodge to warm up by the fire, sip hot cocoa, and let your worries melt away. Book your winter getaway today at Beaver Valley Lodge, where you come as a guest and leave as a friend.
Prosser Memorial Health is moving. At 8 a.m. Saturday, February 1st, 2025, we're opening the doors to our brand new hospital at 200 Prosser Health Drive. After 78 years of serving this incredible community, we're excited to bring you a state-of-the-art hospital designed with you in mind. From advanced care to welcoming spaces, this is how we grow together. The new Prosser Memorial Health Hospital, opening 8 a.m. February 1st at 200 Prosser Health Drive. Learn more at prosserhealth.org.
Hanging lights is really hard work and takes too much time. Introducing the Star Shower Ultra 9 Laser Light Show. Now with an incredible 9 different decorative light patterns for you to choose from that immerse your entire home with thousands of spectacular lights. You can select red and green lights that move like shooting stars, or instead have your lights blinking, or choose twinkling stillness. Star Shower has an automatic light sensor that will turn it on at night and off in the morning. Plus, it's weather resistant and can withstand freezing temperatures. temperatures. Call or go online now to order Star Shower Ultra 9 for just $29.99 and ask about how to get the Star Shower remote. All it takes is the press of a button to change all 9 functions. Star Shower sells out every single year, so this year there's a strict limit of 3 per order. This offer is not available on Amazon, so call or click now.
Call 1-800-617-3097 or visit ultra9.com. So call 1-800-617-3097 or visit ultra9.com now.
Apple Valley News Now viewer Kathy Kilgore.
Apple Valley News Now is important to this community. I know when I turn it on, if there's something that I've heard about in the community, I'm going to hear it from you guys. And that's important. I eat breakfast with you, I eat dinner with you guys. That time's valuable in that it keeps me connected to my community.
Thank you, Kathy. If you watch Apple Valley News Now, please let us know. Apple Valley News Now, always on your side. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and take you on a zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast, starting off in Kittitas County, where high temperatures are going to be stuck in the 30s. For now, model consensus is going with a little bit foggy up towards Snoqualmie Pass, partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies below that. But just know, given that our forecast is going to be cold and dry and we'll have light winds for today, some of this cold air could drain down into the valleys, which means that we could have sunshine for pass level up in the Cascades. We could be socked in with fog and low-lying stratus clouds for lower elevations. Really, the same thing applies to the Yakima Valley. Again, model consensus going with partly cloudy skies, but conventional wisdom going with there could be the potential of gloomy and gray conditions for today. The same thing for the lower Columbia Basin. These highs a little bit warmer, around 40 degrees, 42 for the Tri-Cities, 43 for Hermiston, 43 in Boardman. And then in the Blue Foothills and the Blue Mountains, it's really going to be the same dynamic as what we were tracking up in Kittitas County, where model consensus going with clouds and fog up towards Meacham for today, below that sunshine. But if the cold air starts to drain down, we could see stratus clouds and gray conditions for the foothills and sunshine for pass level and above up in the Blue Mountains. Now, very quickly on to the big picture, the seasonal rainfall surpluses that we've been tracking since October 1st. A lot of green on this graphic, which means a lot of surpluses across the map, although these numbers are a little bit smaller compared to last week, given that it's been pretty dry over the past week. And I'll show you if we have any more rainfall in the forecast over the coming week. And that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Looking now at proposed legislation in Olympia, legislation that would increase penalties for anybody who threatens or attacks referees. Albert James spoke with the representative who's spearheading the effort on why more protections are needed for officials at school sporting events.
Their total focus is on that game and what they're watching and what they're doing, so they're very vulnerable.
Republican Suzanne Schmidt of Spokane Valley says referees of school sporting events often find themselves at risk for verbal and physical attacks or threats. She's proposed bipartisan legislation to protect officials overseeing sporting events or other activities at public and private schools. If passed, House Bill 1085 would increase the penalties associated with violence against officials, a gross misdemeanor. Adults or students who threaten or attack a referee could face more fines and jail time and even get banned from school grounds. Schools would also have to put up signs informing people of the penalties. Schmidt says she was moved to push for more protections by a friend who was forced out of refereeing after being attacked.
I was a referee in 1996 in Colville, Washington, that was headbutted by a high school wrestler and knocked unconscious. I quit breathing. I was unconscious for about 5 minutes and have undergone 4 neck surgeries as a result of that assault.
The Washington Officials Association says it's backing the bill as abuse toward referees from spectators, coaches, and players has dramatically increased in recent years, driving a decline in officials. It says both penalties and awareness are crucial to keep sports as safe environments where students can grow. Schmitz also pushed for more referee protections last session, but failed after concerns about stiffer penalties and numerous changes, though she's hoping things will be different this time around.
I want to have people held accountable for this behavior, for aggressive behavior that's really just, there's no place for it in a school. or a after-school activity.
Schmidt says her bill has not yet been scheduled for a committee hearing. In Olympia, I'm Albert James reporting.
Up next on Good Morning Northwest, confirmation hearings for Trump's cabinet begin this week, and we have the details coming up in your morning sprint. But first, our chief meteorologist Josh Colbert will have your full weather forecast. Keep it right here.
When you need legal help for your injuries, you don't need hassles. You need someone who knows his way around the courtroom. If you've been injured and want to know what your rights are, call 735-0546. Call now. They're waiting to help you.
Meet the Moore family. They switched from cable internet to Ziply Fiber and got so much more. Mr. Moore got more upload speed for next level gaming and live streaming to the masses. Mason Moore got even more done for his sneaker business, quickly uploading HD product demos and video conferencing without freezing.
Brad, you're on mute.
And now that her family doesn't need her for tech support, Mrs. Moore has more time to stream games into overtime.
Let's go!
Get more of what you love by switching to Ziply Fiber for $65 less per month than cable at ziplyfiber.com.
Find your next way to escape. Go where the adventure awaits you, in the heart of Washington State. Kittitas County is a land of 1,000 journeys. No matter what your heart desires, you can find it waiting for you in the outdoors of Central Washington. See all that you can see, and more will be just around the corner. Whether you're in Central Washington for one of our area's many local events, an historical expedition, a shopping spree, to enjoy a weekend of wine tasting, or just for a night's rest on your way to another destination, there are great Central Washington stays standing by to welcome you. And if a great brew is one of those things that's calling, Kittitas County is the place to be. Award-winning breweries with local flavors for every palate and a story behind every pour. Adventure awaits you all year long. To begin your experience, visit centralwashingtonoutdoor.com. Adventures, activities, dining, lodging, and more. It's all just around the corner in Central Washington.
It's Hat Trick Trivia. Watch Kraken Hockey on Apple Valley News Now for your shot at winning 4 first-class tickets to anywhere Alaska Airlines flies.
The hat trick for Brandon Montour.
Kraken Hockey, sponsored locally by Yakima Federal, Prosser Memorial Health, and London's Casino Hotel.
Alice's birthday is coming up. We're in this comfy room in Triple Play Hotel so we can make plans without her hearing.
So we need a huge cake, a giant salad, and a good-sized mariachi band. Hold on a second. Does it seem a little dark in here for 2 p.m.?
Sorry, guys. Where I'm from, they didn't do birthdays. It's very exciting.
Triple Play has fun attractions for everyone, including bowling, a ropes course, and many more, all attached to a cozy hotel.
Vikings, Rams, Wildcard. Pre-game 4:30 tonight. Apple Valley News Now.
Being involved in an injury accident is disruptive any time of year. We can't change what's happened, but maybe we can help you sort some things out. For answers on your case, start the new year by calling Allen Brecky Law Offices. They're waiting to help you.
Smoke City for Less. We are open 7 days a week with now 5 locations.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Right now you're taking a live look at Kennewick. This view brought to you by Yakima Federal. We're not seeing any fog this morning for lower elevations. We are tracking a little bit of fog up in the Blues, also up in the Cascades. But just know that some of this cold air could drain down, start to impact visibility for lower elevations either a little bit later this morning or at the very least a little bit later this week. I'll have more to say about that in a second. But first, temperatures for this morning above freezing for Walla Walla. The rest of us in the 20s. So where we're below 32 degrees, that's where you might have to break out the ice scraper for this morning. I certainly had to do that in Kennewick much earlier this morning, but Walla Walla should be good from that for now. And a little bit later today, we'll have highs getting up into the 30s and 40s. Pretty seasonal stuff for the middle of January. Model consensus going with partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies. But just know whenever we have days that are this cold, that are this calm in terms of the wind gust and this dry, that's sometimes when we tend to see the cold air draining down into lower elevations, and that could result in mostly cloudy to overcast skies with that layer of stratus clouds, as opposed to what model consensus is saying right now. So this is going to be one of those wait and see kind of forecasts. And then for tonight, overnight lows dropping down into the 20s. Pretty much all of us going to have to protect the outdoor pets, plants, and the plumbing. Could see a little bit of patchy freezing fog in the basin. Also, there's going to be about a less than 10% chance that we could track some freezing rain up in the Cascades. That would be from 1 in the morning to 10 in the morning on Tuesday. We'll have additional little chances of precip up in the mountains for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in the form of mountain snow. It doesn't look like we're going to get very much. So all in all, pretty dry forecast over the next 7 days. And a cold forecast for the next 7 days. Although fluctuations in temperatures not that significant up until Sunday morning, that's when we could see morning lows and morning temperatures down into the low 20s for the basin and foothills, up into the upper teens potentially for the Yakima and Kittitas valleys. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Still cold and dry for Wednesday and beyond, but turning even colder this weekend. In Yakima, also dry and cold for the rest of the forecast period, and lows, like I just said, maybe slipping down into the teens by Sunday morning. In Ellensburg, watching that cold air mass take over this weekend, especially as we'll struggle to make it above freezing by Sunday. Then in Hermiston, still cold and dry past Wednesday, but lows may be dropping into the low 20s by this weekend. And then for Walla Walla, a sprinkle of flurry possible for Friday, then dry again this weekend as we could have a hard time making it above freezing on Sunday. Now let's head out to New York City to see what's ahead on Good Morning America.
This morning's GMA First Look on the front lines with firefighters.
Pretty much.
Our Matt Gutman speaking to the Santa Barbara County firefighters working around the clock to battle the raging wildfires.
Well, what's it like picking through, the destroyed remains of people's houses day after day?
Yeah, it's tedious work, but it's important because obviously there's people that were missing that they want to have closure for their family members, their relatives, and their friends. And so for them to repopulate some of these areas, we need to complete our mission first.
And so every house has to be checked?
Correct. Every house.
Does it wear on you emotionally?
Over time, I think there's a cumulative effect. You do realize that you are looking for someone who is passed and deceased, and there is a tough part of that job, but it's got to get done.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have full live team coverage from the fire zone. GMA First Look, I'm Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Dupixent helps people with asthma breathe better in as little as 2 weeks. So this is better. That too. Dupixent is an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma. It works with your asthma medicine to help improve lung function. Dupixent is not for sudden breathing problems and doesn't replace a rescue inhaler. It's proven to help prevent asthma attacks. Severe allergic reactions can occur. Get help right away for face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, wheezing, or trouble breathing. Tell your doctor right away of signs of inflamed blood vessels, like rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in limbs. Tell your doctor of new or worsening joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop steroid, asthma, or other treatments without talking to your doctor. When you can get more out of your lungs, you can do more with less asthma. And isn't that better? Ask your doctor about Dupixent, the most prescribed biologic in asthma, and now approved as an add-on treatment for adults with COPD that is not well controlled and with a specific marker of inflammation.
Now, the Morning Sprint.
Morning Sprint. We're going to start off in your national headlines with an update on TikTok. Majority of the justices seem likely to uphold the law that'll ban TikTok. Meanwhile, President-elect Donald Trump has promised to save TikTok. If the ban goes through, the app will not vanish from your phone, but you won't be able to get software updates. Also, internet hosting companies will not be allowed to keep offering their services, so your feed will not show new videos. 14 confirmation hearings for Trump's cabinet begin this week. For the first time, senators will have the chance to publicly question the nominees. Republicans have 53 seats in the Senate, meaning the nominees do not need Democratic votes, but they also cannot afford to lose more than 2 Republicans. The ongoing wildfires in California are the costliest and most destructive in state history. Officials are taking steps now to help people rebuild. The California governor signed an executive order suspending some building requirements for victims. He's also allocating state resources to expedite insurance inspections. And according to FEMA, mitigating future risks is important to keep homes insured and safe. In business news, Meta says it's ending its diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. Facebook's parent company says it will now focus on hiring the most talented people without considering race, gender, or other characteristics. The change comes after pressure from conservative groups and some customers. Meta is the latest company to join several others to either scale back or end its DEI programs. In your health headlines, a new government report shows unsanitary conditions at a Boar's Head plant in Virginia were contributing factors that led to the deadly Listeria outbreak in the summer. The company recalled 7 million pounds of deli meat. 10 people died and more than 60 others were sickened in 19 states. The report says food inspectors found insects both dead and alive, also mold, mildew, and other problems at the plant weeks before the outbreak. Now we go to your top 5 local stories that you need to know this morning. The Umatilla County Sheriff's Office arrests 3 people in connection to a drive-by shooting from Saturday. Witnesses heard gunshots at a home near Bridge Road and Westland Road 2 times in the night. The second time, they were able to describe the suspect's car, which authorities found on Powerline Road. 2 18-year-olds and a 19-year-old are facing charges. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers of Walla Walla and the Confederated Tribes of the Umatilla Indian Reservation are joining forces on a project to improve fish passage. It's part of a pilot program under the Water Resources Development Act of 2020. And this is to get fish moving through Mill Creek. A signing ceremony happened Friday, and it starts with a study in Mill Creek later this month, which means construction could start by this time next year. The Walla Walla County Department of Community Health confirms a new case of whooping cough. Whooping cough, or pertussis, is easily spread from person to person. Most times it can be treated with medicine, but it can be deadly for babies younger than 6 months old or pregnant women in their last trimester. The Tri-Cities First Stretch Lab is officially open. This is a place where people can increase their mobility, improve posture, and also reduce stress as well as muscle and joint pain. It's located on Edison Street across from Kamiakin High School. If you get irrigation through the city of Pasco, there may be changes coming this year. The city is proposing increased rates and a connection fee for new customers. An official says irrigation is a utility, so ratepayers have to sustain and maintain it. If you want to give feedback, there is a listening session tonight at 6 p.m. at Pasco City Hall, and if adopted, the fees would be active by the end of March. Trending this morning, some of the fastest growing jobs for 2025 barely existed at the turn of this century. That's according to a new analysis from LinkedIn. It finds that the fastest growing jobs in 2025 revolve around 2 letters, AI. AI. So LinkedIn looked at millions of jobs based on user information from 2022 to 2024, and the top 2 jobs were artificial intelligence engineer and artificial intelligence consultant. Oh my goodness. Well, the study also found newfound interest in sectors of hospitality and travel, as the number 3 job was physical therapist. Workforce development manager and travel advisor rounded out the top 5, and you won't be seeing AI taking over our jobs anytime soon. Not as long as we have a say. Fingers crossed, I hope. AI just makes... Where can you get, all this personality, all this charisma, right? Maybe one day they'll get there, but not yet. Yeah, I can't program that into the robot, I don't think. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at this morning's forecast. We're tracking a little bit of fog up in the Cascades. Lower elevation seeing good visibility for now, but a little bit later today, we could see some stratus clouds forming in lower elevations. For right now, it is cold across the map. Walla Walla being the only temperature plot that isn't below freezing. The rest of us are below freezing, so pretty much all of us are going to need the ice scraper for this morning. A little bit later today, we're going to be stuck in the 30s and 40s. Models saying mostly sunny to partly cloudy. Conventional wisdom saying mostly cloudy to overcast for lower elevations. Could be some more gloomy days ahead. Not much rain in the forecast, and we turn even colder this weekend. And thank you guys for watching Good Morning Northwest. You can always find the latest updates on our website, AppleValleyNewsNow.com. Good Morning America's up next, and we'll be back with your local news and weather tonight after the football game. Have a great day.